keep fear in check? How to lose, live, bravely. Got a whole chapter on that in here. I suffer from anxiety and depression, and fear is a monster that will kill you one day at a time by taking your opportunities from you. I do a lot of things that are meant to manage my fear. I wake up in the morning, I got a to-do list. Fear, anxiety, downtime is the devil. You got to be busy. I have a worry book. I write down what I worry about so I have it somewhere so I know I don't have to keep going over it in my head. I have a playlist that goes from to ooh, and because music can make your mind go from one place to another, I work out every day. That's a lie. I try to work out every day. I did an hour and a half today, a half hour on my Peloton bike, and a little over an hour on a treadmill, because that releases endorphins in your head, and so that takes the fight right to the camp. You know what I mean? And endorphins make you more happy. And when I do have fears, I do talk to my husband about them so I can assess their validity. You know, and over the years I've become quite capable at discerning real fears from not real ones, and functioning despite the fear. I used to actually say to myself out loud, Lynn, that's a fear move. You know, the fact that you do not want to go over there, the fact that you do not want to do something is a fear move. Are you going to let fear dictate your day? I actually said that to myself. I used to say that to myself out loud all the time. All the time. But I talk about that a lot because I think fear is a thing that really, it can mess you up. Men can be so cold towards women's emotions. How do you feel with it without feeling hurt? I don't think it's necessarily that men are cold. It's that they think and feel differently in a lot of circumstances. You know, what upsets me doesn't upset him. What upset him doesn't upset me. And I think that I've learned, at least in my 30-year marriage, that I have to explain myself. I don't expect him to get me. And I don't take offense at things that he does that are inconsiderate if he hasn't been informed thereof previously. Why doesn't he know how much that upsets me? He just don't know. And to the extent women and men feel differently, we are obligated to continue to explain ourselves to one another in order to live successfully together. So don't get hurt by what he doesn't feel. Just understand who he is and what he is, and you know, you got to lay some stuff out for him. I feel like I'm real sad right now. I'm a strong black king. I can't find my black queen. I'm so lonely. You know, I had a friend once who said, I think a lot of wonderful people are just walking by each other on the street and don't have an opportunity to know them. I have this thing about this king and queen, though, saying, and someone asked me a question about how do I become a power couple. I don't believe in all of that. Find my queen, I'm a king, find my queen. No, you find your dude, you find your lady. You know, don't make it so, you know what I mean? You date, yeah. Have you ever considered motivational speaking? I do motivational speaking. If you want, you go to judgelyn.com. I don't think I have any of my speeches on there, though. But if you want to seek out my speaking engagements, that's where you go. You're allowing me to communicate better with my marriage. I'm glad. Does age matter? She's 66 and I'm 26. I think you're messing with me. I told my husband that I was saving sex for marriage, and he said that made him respect me more. Hey, wait a minute. You travel a lot, Judge? I do. I do travel a lot. Please adopt me. Listen, honey, I ain't trying to get rid of the kids I got. Last two still living either with me or too close to me. Holy moly. Question: getting your child needs to see the red flags instead of running from us. The time is valuable. We are valuable. You know, it's interesting. It's very, very hard to get people who are in an abusive relationship to see it from your point of view. And a lot of people get frustrated with people in abusive relationships because you keep telling them this ain't cool, but I love them, and then they run from you, and then they pretend it ain't as jacked up as it is. And you know what you need to do is to really understand the nature of domestic violence. Read, look it up on computers, all, you know, see, you know what, and they have information about what people can do to actually and really support people in a domestic violence situation. That's one. That's number two. Don't become frustrated in distance. One of an abuser's best friends is isolation. So don't be frustrated by her unwillingness to listen at this point in time. Always say, I'm here when you're ready. Don't get frustrated. Don't get mad. Don't call her stupid. Don't say, I can't believe you. You know, he's pulling her away to maintain his power and control. Don't help him by being frustrated with her. Continue to reach out. Continue to say you're there. Don't continue to berate her about what she has. She knows what's happening. Talk about what you can talk about. Back off. Talk about and read as much as you can about being a family member of someone who was abused, because there's a lot of information out there about how you be a good advocate. Sometimes it's you know, a matter of they don't know how to go. So do you? Do you know how? Do you know where the local domestic violence agency? Do you know where what the hotline number is? Do you know what kind of apps there are for them to call when they're in danger? Do you have any ability to help them assess what logistical things that they'll have to deal with? You know what I mean? There are lots of ways to be sort of supportive of a woman or a man in a domestic violence situation. It's not just keep talking to them until they get it. They probably get it, but they're having psychological trouble getting out. Well, my other phone keeps dinging. It's making me crazy. What advice would you give a person who has been molested and she keeps looking for someone to accept her? I think she needs to go into therapy so she can deal. She doesn't need someone else to make her feel good, being accepted somebody else to make her feel good. You know, I've never been in a molestation situation, and I don't know, and I think it's different for everybody, but the solution doesn't come in getting somebody else to accept you. With the solution comes in feeling whole and good about yourself. um, did you know what I mean? I mean, but I would never say I know what's going on. But you when you've been molested or had some traumatic thing like that happening, you have a have a right to help and an obligation to yourself to work through whatever what's ever happening in your head as a function thereof. You know what I'm saying? You really should do that. He makes me feel so little, and I don't even like him but he still come around and tortures me. Go look up the site bloom365.org. I want you to see what it is to have self-esteem, and what it is to feel that you have to tolerate abusive behavior or power and control. You know, uh, you shouldn't be wilting over here. So all the negative things people can make you feel, you should be blooming. Yes, indeedy.